Hi, everybody. It's Pat, Chat with Pat show, and I'm here at the Dragon Ridge Country Club where Neal Portnoy is showcasing his artwork, doing some caricatures, having a fun time. I'm going to interview Neal a little later and Dorothy and just talk to them about some of these small venues that they've been doing to both showcase their work and to meet new people, which Neal absolutely loves. He's such a gregarious guy. So anyway, I'll be right back with you. I'm going to walk around and see who I can grab to shoot. Hi everybody, it's Pat and I'm here now with Dorothy Portnoy. She is Neal Portnoy's wife, Dorothy. Now, you're at all these things that he does. Are you the planner of them?
It's a team work, and we work together. Sometimes he hears about events, other times I do. We network a lot, and that's how we find out about them. It's great. We get to meet the members and the residents here at Dragon's Ridge and McDonald High.
Are you meeting a lot of people? Are a lot of people coming out? Are you selling some pictures?
We talked to quite a few people. Some people were really interested in his artwork, which was really great.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's why we're all here.
Yeah, and we talked about doing some commissioned work for them. Neal hasn't really done a lot of showcases.
Okay.
So this is really new for him.
Oh, okay.
So when we first got here, really the first couple of months we were here, we went down to the Arts District because we figured we'd go down and meet the artists and see what that was all about.
Right.
And we showcased our work at Janice Red Room, and we did that a couple of times over the year. But we have our gallery. So,
Right. So mostly you have events in your gallery as well, don't you? Little, I mean, I've seen a few things. I can't think right now what they've been. What,
So when we first got here, we had our grand opening.
Right.
So that was first, and that was a little difficult inviting people because we didn't know, but we were networking.
Right.
So we got here in March, and the gallery was officially opened at the end of April, and I think the middle of May we had the grand opening, and we had about 65 people.
was last year.
This was last year.
2016.
Yeah, we've been here about a year and a half. So we had about 65 people for the grand opening, and we had a Christmas celebration. And then in between, I've rented the gallery space out. It's a great place to have workshops and different events for people. And
You know, I was curious because didn't you have a Reiki?
yes.
I mean, how did you do that in the gallery?
Okay, so one of my networking friends is Ann Bordelot, and she's a master Reiki. And she asked if she can rent the space out to have a class, which she did the first Reiki 1 class. And there was, I think, 8 of us, and we all got certified in Reiki 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's so cool. Well, listen, Dorothy is supposed to be the hostess with the mostest, and I'm keeping her from doing that. And I might chat a little bit with you later. But this is just, you know, I totally get what you're doing. You guys are the best networking, marketing people of your own product, and you've put so much energy and effort into it. I've watched since you got here, and it's phenomenal. And everybody knows who you are. Now that he's in the paper, everybody really knows who you are.
It's really nice to have him in the paper. And he's been there for 6 months, and he loves it. And he gets to work at the gallery. He doesn't have to go to the Review Journal to work. And then he goes into their offices as often as he has to. And he's always waiting for that next job, which is really exciting.
Well, I am so excited for you guys. When that happened for him, I was like, wow, did they make the right decision? And you are so sweet, and he is so funny, or at least he thinks he's funny, but he really is funny. But anyway, I'm going to grab a couple of other people, and we'll chat with them, and we're going to show you throughout this little video we're doing a lot of his artwork and show him drawing some things. So I'll see you in a few. Okay, everybody, I'm here with Len Jessup, president of UNLV. He came out to support Neal's gallery showing here at Dragon Ridge Country Club. And I just wanted to ask you, Len, why was it important for you to come out and do that?
Well, we're just very supportive of what Neal is doing. He's, of course, a very talented artist and a very innovative artist, too, with the permanent markers and the way he does what he does. But also, he did the work for us for our recent Hall of Fame gala, the caricatures of all of our Hall of Fame honorees, and then kind of helped us create a composite image of them. So he's done great work for UNLV as well.
Yeah. And so how long have you known him?
I've just a short time, just with that project. That's how I got to know him. Of course, now I'm becoming more familiar with all of his work and all the great golf work that he's done. It's incredible, really incredible.
He's really amazing. And the one thing that I was surprised to find out was about his baseball past.
Right.
I mean, he doesn't really talk about it. And then one day somebody else said, well, he was the pitching coach and a this and a that. And I was like, wow, you never told me. I mean, what does that mean to your school, to UNLV, to have somebody who was so big in sports? He's already helped the community of UNLV with his paintings and everything. But what does it mean? Like, will you ever have him come speak to your baseball team?
It means a lot, because you can see it, right? If you didn't know that he had that past, and you look at the caricatures he does of athletes, you can tell that he understands what it means to be an athlete. And so when I found out the baseball history, I thought, of course, you can see it in the work. It meant a lot to me personally because I was a baseball player too. So
wow.
we were telling funny stories to each other about our baseball years. And so that makes the relationship all the more special.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody that has met him, which would have been hard to do because he's definitely on the social scene, but really enjoys him and rooting for him to be successful here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an uphill climb. He was telling me, but now that he's in the RJ, I mean, isn't it great to look in there and say, I know that guy?
Fantastic.
I mean, even I love doing that. But I wanted to pull you aside. I'm going to let you get back to the fun and just have you say a few kind words about Neal.
Okay, sounds
all
good.
right. Thank you so much, Len.
You bet.
Okay, everybody, I found Louise Carruth, a good friend of Neal and Dorothy's. She came out tonight to help them celebrate and participate in this wonderful little venue gallery showing. I think it's just fantastic.
It is fantastic, and I'm so proud to be able to know them. I've known them for probably since the beginning of the year, if not the end of last year. And I have to tell you that I am so proud of him that I keep copies of the RJ with his artwork in it. So I show people and they go, oh, that's really nice. I said, no, you don't understand. He does it with markers. And then their eyes get really big. And I think he's amazing, not having any formal art education.
It is amazing.
And he is wonderful. And I've gotten to be good friends with Dorothy. And she's having a gathering, and I'm going to be serving tea there. That's my business.
Sip,
Sip,
view, and paint.
Yes.
Yes.
Neal was just telling me that it was his idea.
Yeah, that's what he made sure that we all knew that.
Yes, we all know that. Yes.
Well, I just wanted to pull you aside. I just, like you, I'm just so excited to just be a little part of their life.
Yes.
I was happy to come out here and shoot this little bit of video so people can actually see some of the smaller venues that he's been working in and everything like that. And so, Louise, I thank you. Is there a
You're
special
welcome.
message you have for Dorothy and Neal?
I just wish the best for them, and just keep on painting with markers.
Great. Well, thank you, Louise. And I'll be back with another testimonial soon. Thank you. Well, look who I found, the man of the hour, Neal Portnoy, here doing his gallery thing. So many people at this little event that he's holding to showcase his artwork, to do caricatures, and just to have fun. He's a funny, fun guy. Neal, why is it important to do these kinds of venues?
Well, I mean, I get to work with magic markers. I mean, you smell those for 10 minutes, you'll be just like me. I started doing what Dorothy was doing. I was drifting, wasn't I? I was drifting. These are great events simply because you get out to the country club community, let them see some of the other work that you do, because everybody knows me as the guy that does the caricatures for the Review Journal. They see the cartoons. I get to bring the real stuff with me. It's a lot of fun interacting. Tonight, the last night of the 4 days that I've been here, we get to do some live caricatures, and literally being Don Rickles with a pen, you got to be very brave to sit in that chair.
He's not lying. You better be brave. But he makes it a lot of fun while you're sitting in the chair and doing that. And I know tonight you're doing some caricatures, and not really a freebie. Seems like your tip jar is getting pretty full over there. But I think that's the one thing I've enjoyed, is that you get out into the community. You give the community an opportunity to see what you do, to see your work close up and personal. And one lady I spoke to, she said, yeah, when I realized this is the same guy that I'm looking at in the RJ, she says, I had to come. So you've got so many fans here and friends here.
And you know what? Just be who you are. Be real. You know, it's people say, why do you get out? We've been here 16 months. We moved to Vegas 16 months ago. And people constantly will say to me, how do you know everybody? And I look at them and say, let me tell you something. That's not important. What is important is that they know you.
Yeah.
So every time we'll go out now, they recognize they will have seen me somewhere. You know, God only knows I'm on every social media site.
That's true.
It is true. And listen, I'm never going to change. I'm an athlete. That's what I did before.
Yeah.
So I tell people, look, I'm just a jock. I happen to be able to draw. Very fortunate, God-given gift that I enjoy doing, and keep going with it. You know what? I think I'm getting younger, not older. Chronologically, it's going the other way, but I feel younger being here in the summer.
Well, I can say one thing. If youth has anything to do with energy or vice versa, you got it, because you and Dorothy get out there. You're at everything. You're making this happen. Nobody is bringing this to you. You are out there meeting people, and everybody I've spoken to tonight, including the president of UNLV, just loves you.
Well, let me put it to you this way in closing, because I'll talk forever, you know me. Here's a line I live by. One moment in time changes everything. And people need to remember that. One moment in time, you may not recognize it, but that one moment in time changes everything, and just run with it. Be who you are.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've convinced Neal to come on my show, one-on-one intimate conversations with awesome people, where we're going to learn a lot more about him, how he arrived here, what he did, his life before Las Vegas, and all of that. So stay tuned for that. But I want to thank you, Neal, for inviting me out, allowing me to film this wonderful gathering that you've put together.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you soon.
I hope so.
Okay?
Real soon.
All right, darling.
got it.
Take care.